everyone, my name is Madison. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going through and setting my budget for mostly spring 2022, kind of the entire year, and kind of breaking down where my expenses go, what I like to allocate and spend money on and save money for, and about how much I give myself to budget based on how much I'm working. So, this is never something I filmed before, but I thought it would be interesting. I love watching these videos, and especially as a college student, I find them really interesting to kind of understand and see how students, allocate their expenses and how much they need to be saving for certain things. So without further ado, let's just get started. So the first thing I like to do is go through and estimate about how much I'm going to be working this semester. Of course, next summer and this upcoming summer, I will be making a lot more money just because I will be working more than part-time. But I estimate that I'm going to be working at about 20 hours per week this semester. 10 hours for each job. After taxes, I make about $14.50 to $15.20 an hour, kind of depending on if I have deductions taken out. Depending on how much your paycheck is, the university will sometimes take out deductions that goes into a retirement account for you. I honestly don't really understand how that all works and how they determine when to take out deductions versus other times. Regardless, I always like to lowball and say I make $14 an hour after taxes. That sometimes is over $1 under the actual value, but this does give me some little extra wiggle room, and I'll always end up with a little extra money in my pocket if I just assume that I'm making $14 an hour after tax. $14 an hour after tax times 20 hours a week estimates I'll be making about $280 a week minimum just from my hourly jobs. Multiply that by 4 weeks in the month. Minimum, again, I like to shoot for minimums, means I give myself a total budget of $1,120 a month. So here you can see I have my total budget. This is the amount of money I'm allowing myself to spend. Anything extra would be a bonus, whether that's money I make from YouTube gets put away to savings or is reinvested back into my channel. Maybe I work a little extra that month. Maybe I don't have deductions taken out. I might be, do a brand deal or babysit a little bit extra, but I like to shoot for having this number as a budget, and anything else is a bonus. Now from here, I'll break down about how much money I like to allocate towards different parts of my savings, my car insurance, things like that. Something I do want to point out, and I never really mentioned this before because I try to keep it on the down low. I am a current junior in college, and I am very fortunate in that I do not pay tuition. I have a little over a full ride, so I actually get paid to go to school, and the money that I actually get paid back, so I have scholarships that cover more than my tuition. That extra money goes towards my rent and utilities, and the remainder of my rent, I'm fortunate in that my parents help me pay. So given that, I actually don't have to worry about any expenses regarding rent or groceries or utilities, which is nice. There are some months where I just pay it myself because I feel bad, but that typically is in the summer when I have a little extra money, or maybe I don't know, I babysat for an NFL player pretty consistently this last summer and was able to pay off a huge chunk of my car thanks to that, and was contributing a lot more to my own expenses during that time. Regardless, I'm going to give myself $1,120 a month. That is going to be my total budget. Again, anything else is a bonus and gets put away in other places. My monthly expenses consist of my car insurance, which is about $160. It's more like $158, $157, something like that. But I always like to round up because, again, just gives me a little extra money to play with later, and the few dollars don't make that much of a difference. My car loan, I have been really good about paying my loan, and I'm filming this in January 2022. The next loan payment I have to make is July 2024, so I'm over 2 years ahead on my loan. I've been paying off larger chunks, and every month I pay off more than I need to. I believe my loan is $170 a month. I honestly don't even know because I just pay off $200 every month. I don't get penalized for paying it off early, and I actually just get benefited because I'm paying less interest on that. The next thing I like to allocate is my Roth IRA. I have never maxed out my Roth IRA. I might this year, kind of depending on how things go and how much money I end up making this summer, but my Roth IRA I can contribute $6,000 to annually, and I will be putting $175 a month into this account. So putting $175 a month into my Roth IRA gives me a total of $2,100 a year that goes into that account. I do anticipate and plan on contributing more than this per month during the summer, and all of my extra funds and AdSense money, things like that, will be going towards this account to help me hit that $6,000 a year maximum. I also have an Ally savings account. Ally Bank has a 0.5% interest rate, so it's relatively high yield considering my other bank account has a 0.002% interest rate on your savings account. So putting $100 a month into there is more of like I maybe want to use it in the next, I don't know, 3 to 4 years, if that's grad school, rent during grad school, that sort of thing, without it being my emergency fund, and without it being money I don't want to touch for 10 plus years. So into my Ally savings, I have $100 a month. Again, this is more of like short-term usage without it being my emergency funds. I also have an account with Alpine Bank, which is like a local Colorado bank. I put $75 a month into my savings account there. I also have a checking account with them that some of my other funds go to, but my Alpine Bank account and that savings account is my emergency fund. So things like me needing new car tires, a new windshield, a new computer, more usable, tangible emergency funds. I have a chunk of money in there already, which I've been told is more than you need for an emergency account, but I do like to contribute to that regularly just so I feel like if something were to happen in the next few months, I still have something to fall back on. I know I might be like a little overkill with it, but contributing to that monthly, even if it's just a little bit, definitely makes me feel a little bit better. I also have an index fund with Fidelity, and I put $100 a month into this. This is more like savings that I don't want to access for quite some time. This might be a down payment on a house someday, extra retirement funds, my kids' college account, something of that sort. So again, this adds $1,200 a year to this account. With all of that considered, that leaves $310 a month for personal use, which is a little over $75 a week. This would be things like a plane ticket to go visit my boyfriend, dinner out, shopping, things of that sort. I try to limit this, but especially during the holidays or my sister's birthday's coming up, things of that nature, I do like to have this available and be okay with spending this money, just because I feel like I'm checking off a lot of big other boxes with my retirement accounts, emergency savings funds, long-term savings, and more short-term savings, in addition to paying my car insurance and overpaying my car loan every month. I used to contribute a lot more per month to my car loan, closer to $500, which made me feel really good, and that's definitely why that number is, that's definitely why I don't need to contribute for over 2 years. However, after doing some more kind of research and investigating and talking to some people that are much more financially literate than I am, while paying off my car loan and not paying that interest is really good. Sometimes having your money in other places, instead of putting all my eggs in one basket, having a little money in different savings accounts with different interest rates, as well as with an index fund or a brokerage account, can kind of help me just get the best of both worlds when it comes to interest rates and how the stock market's changing and things of that sort. I also plan on adding all of my money from my tax refund to my Roth IRA. I'm not sure how much that will be this year. It kind of fluctuates in years past, especially because I have been working more during the school year than I really ever have. I did not start working during the school year until fall of what was that, fall of 2020, and I worked about 10 hours a week during the school year. This year I'm closer to 20, 25, kind of depending on the week. We'll see. You know, just helps to have a little bit of extra money in there. Also, because with your Roth IRA, you're only allowed to contribute up until you make a certain amount of money per year. That means that you can only contribute for so long. If you ever think you might be earning a salary above that mark, and I'm not quite sure if / when that will be, but just in case that does happen, considering the field I'm going into, I want to have prepared ahead of time. But that is kind of my really basic budget for 2022. I might do a more in-depth one on how my personal spending is budgeted. I honestly don't really budget that all that much. I feel like because I am putting, over 70% of my income to other sources and savings and things like that, I feel comfortable letting myself spend that as I please. I try not to be frivolous, and any extra money does get put aside towards my savings. It's not very often that I hit that $310 a month mark, but it is nice to have there just kind of as a limitation for myself. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video and all of your love and support. I don't know, this was fun, and I'd love to do more things like this in the future. I hope you all are having a great start to 2022, and I will see you all next time. Bye.